Imagine you are in a social situation with somebody, right? And, you're conversing and everything, and you're just talking about things, right? And all of these patterns of comfort and familiarity want to take over, right? Maybe it's permeable boundaries, maybe it's enmeshment. It's just really the matter oversharing, right? It's wild to me how easily and how often oversharing happens. And the patterns, they just want to they want to flow because that's how it works, right? Comfort and familiarity, right? We do what it is that we're used to, and then we're used by that, right? So yeah, you're just oversharing. Well, yeah, my life has been this way forever. My family's this way, I'm this way, this, that, and that, yada yada yada, right? And then all of a sudden, a glitch in the matrix happens, right? You notice something. Something is just off, right? And then the other person starts to notice something about you, right? All of a sudden, you're just like, right? You're breaking the pattern, right? When you finally break the pattern and you wake up. I love breaking patterns. I really do. I love it when I find myself in a situation with somebody where like I'll even realize like I'll be like I don't want to have this conversation, right? And to even like try to say that to the person would potentially be like, I don't know, considerably disrespectful. The amount of times that I've found myself having a conversation with somebody and then like I realize like I'm like, I don't want to have this conversation, right? And it's not because I feel like inferior or because I feel like I'm wrong and I can't be wrong. I'm 100% fine with being wrong. But what it's more so regarding is that I find myself in the same situations, in the same conversations, over and over and over and over and over. The hardwiring, the hardwiring. This is what Chris deserves. 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 Chris deserves to be in situations like this with people where he doesn't feel comfortable. Chris deserves to be in situations like this with people where he's oversharing. Chris is used to oversharing. Chris is always known oversharing. Oversharing is everything that Chris deserves. No. I'm gonna look at that pattern straight in the fucking eyes and be like, hey, no. Right? And then the pattern's gonna look at me and be like, oh shit, he caught me. And then when I'm in that situation with somebody and it's kind of like it's like one of those robotic things, right? Where I find myself repeating the pattern and then I finally wake up and it's kind of just like right, like I'm breaking out of the matrix, right? There's glitches happening. It's like I don't know, right? It's like it's all spazzing and everything and it's like malfunction, right? And it's like that was pretty cool. And that's when the awakening starts. um Breaking patterns, especially when it's in like conversation, right? Like when you're having a conversation with somebody and you start to wake up. And I've had this happen so many times and I'm still trying to figure out for myself what the best way to approach this is, because some people are going to get it and some people aren't, right? Some people are going to be like, what, you don't want to talk to me? And other people are going to be like, what's happening? What the fuck are you talking about? And I would say that I know very few people that would actually be dope enough to explore it and be like, I could be like, dude, I think I'm breaking a pattern, right? And they might be like, oh, that's cool. What exactly is it? What's happening? Tell me about the unfolding of it, the breaking down of it, what you're realizing, what you're seeing, everything. And some people would just take offense to, what does that mean, right? They would just take offense to it. You're an asshole. You don't want to talk to me? What the fuck? Right? And just that kind of thing. And I don't know. It's like I'm waking up. That's what this whole thing of breaking patterns is all about. And it's wild when I realize that I actually don't want to be talking to somebody, or I just genuinely don't give a fuck about what it is that the conversation consists of. These things have happened before, where I've found myself in the same conversation with somebody, and then like with somebody else, and I'm like, fuck, I'm here again. I don't want to talk about this bullshit. I don't give a shit, right? And that's the thing too. Something that I appreciate, and I'm not trying to offend the person or hurt their feelings, but something I appreciate about bluntness is getting to the fucking chase of things, getting to the center, the core, the root of things, right? If I don't give a shit about something, it's okay. It doesn't mean that I don't give a shit about the person. It just means I don't give a shit about something, right? But also, like, let's look at oversharing, right? Oversharing is something that I have a lot of experience with, and something that I've found myself doing so many times in so many situations. Oversharing, for those that don't know, has to do with either having permeable boundaries or having no boundaries at all whatsoever. And basically what it deals with is just telling somebody way too fucking much about yourself, your life, your family, your friends, things that they might get to know years into, and I emphasize years into the relationship, right? Oversharing usually happens because somebody's trying to build intimacy, but it's like they overly crave intimacy. I won't use the word overly crave intimacy, but they crave it so much that they're willing to fucking open themselves up like 100%, and you gotta be careful with that, because not everyone is safe, right? Yeah, breaking a pattern is fucking awesome, and it's especially weird, but it happens most often, in my own experience of life, it happens most often when I find myself in a social situation with somebody, conversing about something, and when I'm about to overshare, I remember boundaries. Shit, they don't need to know everything about me. They don't need to know what's going on in my life right now. They don't need to know about my family. They don't need to know about my friends. They don't need to know about logistics that even people that I've known for fucking years and years and years already know, like, or that don't even know. Yeah, it's kind of funny what happens when patterns start to break, because that's when a person really starts to change, because that's when they start to become more aware of themselves. They step outside of autopilot, they awaken, the program starts to melt away and degrade back into the soil from which it came, and then you start to see, shit, I don't want to overshare anymore. Shit, I don't want to enmesh with people anymore. That's not intimacy. Shit, I want to have healthy boundaries. Shit, I don't even want to talk to this person anymore. Like, it's wild what can happen when a pattern breaks, right? But my favorite part is when you kind of go, you step out of the matrix and it looks like there's glitches and you kind of like, malfunction, right? It's kind of, it is wild.